Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Write About Now. Joining me is Erica Moore, Ivy Latoha Pasis, and Keela Rhodes in observance of Women's History Month. Hello, my friends.
Hello.
Hello.
I really thank you, ladies, for setting aside your time coming on here. I'm eager to hear which lady you chose and the information that you guys are going to share. Let's have a little fun. Let's go ahead and jump into it. And first things first, like Women's History Month. When I hear it, when I envision those words, right, certain things come to mind. We want to hear what comes to you guys' mind. And I'm going to start with Erica. So when you hear the words Women's History Month, what do you envision?
First of all, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here with you ladies, as well as Mr. Life Writing himself. But what I envision when I hear Women's History Month is a time set aside to honor women who were not afraid to go against societal norms in order to make a difference. It's a moment to reflect on their achievements, their resilience, and actually just to kind of recognize the paths that they opened for women like us. Most importantly, I think it's a time for women to kind of stop and reflect and think, what am I doing to impact my family, my friends, my community, and beyond? And lastly, on a personal note, it's a time for me to stop and check my own story. Like, what am I doing to contribute to the legacy of the women that came before me?
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. What say you, Ms. Ivy? What do you envision?
I am going to piggyback to what you just said. I think this is really a time for us to, one, you said it's reflection. Yes, I agree with the reflection. At the same time, also, I think it's the celebration. This month is really dedicated for women. I am a minority. I'm a woman of color. And just recognizing who are those trailblazers in our, not in our country, in our community, in our world, within our family. So I have this thing about glass ceilings, but I call it the bamboo ceiling because I'm Asian.
Ah,
Yeah. But I am not a panda. So, uh, but this is really my, just looking back how far I've come as a woman of color. From the humble beginnings, I think I shared that one with you, Chris, the home that I had, um, you know, um, and where I came from, my family came from, and where I am right now. So this country has really offered a lot of opportunities for me and for my family and even for my children. And being a woman, I led the way for them to get here. Another thing is just leveraging, the equality of women, among men in the C-suite. There's a significant disparity in the number of C-suite women leading the corporate world. So how do we elevate women of color? It's only
right.
1.4%. I think that's the statistics right there.
Really?
But
Wow.
yeah, it's 1.4%. So this is really a reminder of how far we've come and how they recognize that real estate that we have occupied
Right.
in those areas. So
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing that. And yes, I recall several stories that you shared years ago. That stat that you shared though, that's pretty alarming. And in 2026, you kind of like, really? Did I hear her correctly? Wow.
yes, if I have I will be presenting to the Philippine Nurses Association
Hmm.
next week, and that exactly was it's 1.4% of Fortune 500 CEOs are Asian Americans. And out of that statistic, 6% of that are women.
Wow. When you put numbers to, that type of phenomenon, it makes you take a step back. And if it doesn't, you may need to do a little self-evaluation, but I'm going to leave that there.
Yeah.
Miss Keela. So again, same question. When you hear those words, like, what do you envision? What comes to mind?
When it's a lot of reflection. I'm going to piggyback on what they were saying, like a lot of reflection on recognition as well. When you say Women's History Month, and I also think about trailblazers, like women that have set the path for us to become who we are. Because
Absolutely.
a lot of times, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are now. Mm-hmm. So I think that, and another thing I would say is global impact, like the global impact that they had on, everyone, not just women, just everyone. So I would definitely say a global impact as well.
Yeah, I like that. Keela, can you please share and present the lady, the history-making woman, who you will be presenting today, and again, and why?
I'm going to choose Amanda Gorman. And the reason why I chose her was because she was the youngest to, write the poem for the inauguration of President Joe Biden back in January 2021. The reason why I chose her was because my daughters, one of my daughters, she loved to write. And when I looked back on her, I felt like how she was able to go in front of everybody at that age 22. If you think about it, a lot of people are not that bold to do certain things in front of have that type of impact on others.
Agreed.
So at the Super Bowl in 2021 as well. So tell about her poem, which is called The Hill We Climb.
Right. I remember that. Miss Erica, who did you choose? Who are you presenting today, and why?
I am presenting Mrs. Lucille Bridges, the mother of Ruby Bridges, the first Black child to integrate all white school in 1960. I chose Mrs. Lucille rather than Ruby because we're all mothers on this call, and we know that a mother's natural instinct is to protect her child from harm, whether it be physical or mental. Yet Mrs. Lucille, she walked her baby through the crowd, a crowd full of hate, throwing things, and she did it, grounded in her faith and conviction. And let's be honest, with the subtle challenges we have of, today, a lot of us don't have that type of confidence. So can you imagine the confidence and courage needed back then to do what she did?
Erica, I would say this. As you were sharing that, you really hit me with a curveball. And I said that way very intentionally. Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, have I ever heard anyone, let alone share, but delve into the intricacies, the thought process, what may have happened, the conversation someone may have had with respect to the parent, the person responsible, the guardian responsible for said person to do whatever he or she did. I like this spin.
Yeah, because she gets lost the written and we love Ruby. She is a big part of history, but being a mom, like she got lost in that. But in my part, she was the real hero for that fact, because again, it is our natural instinct to protect our child. Wow. So, but she let her child walk through that crowd, and they were throwing things and everything, and she protected her child because she knew it was ultimately for a greater cause and a greater goal.
Wow. No, and And two, as you were, I don't know about the other ladies, I'm sure, as you're saying that, I'm envisioning, I'm picturing that whole
I
thing,
was
right?
too.
Wow. Okay. So now I am going to apply that concept, that line of thinking, right, with respect to a lot of people whose names have been publicized and who have been recorded in history, right? But not thinking about the
Yep.
people. Wow. Okay. Really, thanks for sharing that one. Good, nice spin, Miss Moore.
Thank you.
Miss Ivy. Um, what say you?
Well, I'm looking at two different perspectives, being a nurse and where
Mhm.
I am right now in my career,
Okay.
I would say Florence Nightingale, right? She
Mm.
served the Crimean War, taking care of our soldiers, which basically what I am doing right now.
Yes.
It's a different time, and she did what she can with what she had, basically taking care of them, nurturing them, using the air, the sunlight,
Mm.
and the those basic things that she can have in taking care of soldiers. I think that's where I am coming from as a nurse. The innovation that I support within the organization,
Mhm.
empowering women to use the tools that they have in order for us to deliver safe and quality care for our veterans. In the perspective of um, being an executive, I'm not sure if you have known this person. Her name is Marilyn Uson. She was the former chairwoman and the president and CEO of Lockheed Martin. I always say this, that what sums me up is my strategic leadership, my vision, as well as my ability to drive organizational performance. And she was that
Okay.
in the sea of male executives.
Mhm.
She was able to ensure that there was cross-functional collaboration within the organization, and for a woman to drive that, I think that's really powerful.
Absolutely.
um, and in that perspective, you look at those women that showed you that it can be done,
Mhm.
whether you're a mother, you're a nurse, you're a sister, you're a daughter. Things can be done, and I think the biggest power of women is really to find that something that's not
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
That is the
No,
power right there.
that it is. Absolutely. You guys have me bouncing all over the place, picturing these feet on the heels of that question and what you ladies just presented. With respect to that lady, what would you want your respective legacy to be in light of the woman that you share? And Ivy, I'll start with you.
I think if you're looking at my legacy, it's that's I want to use the word enduring framework of how I do things,
Mm.
my work ethic, and really looking at what that mission is, my North Star. So I always say my North Star are my veterans. You are a veteran, and that is why, even though there is a significant change in the organization, that
Mhm.
is the question that I ask all the time: what is my North Star? So the North Star that I have is the what is that enduring framework that I can leave at the VA that will sustain the care of my veterans. The
Mm.
veteran who, and I just to give you a background, the reason why I have this passion about veteran care, the very first person who gave me a chance in this country was a veteran who served in World War II.
Oh wow.
when I came to this country, I was not really certain about my life, and I don't know. I can speak English, but not New York English. But he made sure that I deliver those words with like an American, and that was really key for me to be able to interact. But he was the one who gave me, and I thought that the color of my skin didn't precede who I am as an individual, and that was really big for me. So,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Wow. That's powerful. Whew. Okay. Miss Moore, with respect to Miss Bridges, what would you want your legacy to be?
Um, with respect to Mrs. Lucille Bridges, I would want my legacy to reflect the same quiet courage and conviction that she embodied. I want to be remembered as a woman who, stood firm on her values, who nurtured and protected her family. Yet I had enough strength to go into uncomfortable, places if it meant creating a better future. If my legacy can show that faith, resilience, and purpose can change the world one act at a time, then I have honored her example.
You ladies are bringing this road. What legacy would you like to leave?
The legacy for Gorman, I would say I would want is the boldness, tenacity, persistent. How I'm sure she ran across different obstacles, being so young at age, that she did not let the obstacles deter her from the goal that she had. And
Yeah.
so I would definitely say those are some of the things that, and determination that I
Right.
would want to leave um, as a legacy.
Yeah.
And unwavering focus.
Unwavering focus. Whew. Yeah.
Things coming at you. And I'm like, okay, yes. So
Be like, okay. Anything else you wanted to share with respect to that?
absolutely. Well, I have a book. It is a 30-day daily devotional book for women. And the reason why I chose this particular topic was I did not realize how so many women back in the Bible days, they went through the same things that we endured now, but they had the strength through the word of God to actually, okay, make it through the different trials and tribulations that they encounter. And that's what made them so special to me. Different women, I was looking up all the different women, and I'm like,
Yeah.
they went through a lot.
Right.
And so that's what made me write this book. And so many people have told me this has helped them through so many different trials and tribulation. And, I feel like sometimes we should be able to become more bolder and share our testimony and be able to share things, how we overcame certain obstacles instead of like being silent about it. So,
Yeah. Wow. Now, okay, I'm going to make sure first and foremost I get a copy for my daughter.
okay.
Probably one for my sister too.
Okay.
Ivy, they know, of course, they know my sister.
Yeah.
But no, that's good, Keela. And I will say too, shame on you because I had no idea you'd written a book.
I'm sorry. I thought you knew.
Congrats, though. I didn't
Thank
know.
you.
No,
Thank
I
you.
had. So how long ago did you write the book?
3 years ago, actually.
And 3 years ago, and I'm just hearing about this.
Yes.
And I'm not going to edit that out either. So, lady,
Yes.
thanks for sharing. The legacy portion. Now, I have a sentence that I want each of you to finish. Okay, and I am going to start with Miss Erica. So, Erica,
Yes.
in the spirit of making history, if I could hold one position, it would be
Well, I would like to think that I am holding that position now because it would be a woman whose influence is felt long after, she's gone. So long after I'm going to be with the Lord, I want my influence to, still be felt because titles come and go,
Right.
but character, courage, and impact leave a legacy. I want my life to reflect purpose and the willingness to stand firm, even when the moment is uncomfortable and
Mhm.
even if it doesn't look like what everyone else is doing.
No. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. In the spirit of making history, if I could hold one position, Ivy, it would be.
Um, I think coming from a third world country, I would like to hold the position of the Secretary General of the United Nations. And the reason for that is one is to your point, Erica, it's the influence, right? Of how I think it's really important for us to regard education, the education of our women,
Right.
as a springboard for us to occupy a real estate in in the world, to be able to steer where we need to go as human beings,
Mhm.
because the part of women as the one that nurtures the world,
Mhm.
I think that's where we're going to have a bigger impact. Another thing is this platform in this position, I think I will be able to resolve the things that make women unequal to men.
Mhm. Mhm.
So being, and we know, we say it's not the title you said, Erica, and then you know, um, but I think the world right now looks at where is that authority, like the formal authority that can have the loudest trumpet to say, you have to really pay attention to this.
Right.
Women
Right.
can be powerful if we provide them education. And my history, coming from a third world country in a far-flung area, an impoverished country,
Mhm.
education allowed me to get out of poverty.
Mhm.
So and I think there's still work to be done.
It's always like that feeling of so much work that still needs to be done.
Yes.
Uh, but I'm confident just sitting here amongst you ladies in and of itself that progress is going to continue to be made in you guys' respective areas. Keela, we need to hear from you, right?
I would say motivational speaker. I like to encourage people. I like to see people do good. I
Uh-huh.
like to, that's just who I am. I
Right.
don't care who it is. I feel like a slight word may deter someone from having a bad day. So sometimes, even with myself, I encourage myself.
Hmm.
And so to me, a motivational speaker is, I always want to be impactful, like meaning that I want to be able to, if it's nothing but out of a crowd, one person was able
Hmm.
to get a message from what I was talking about, that would make me happy. But even though I do a lot, I am already, but I feel like I could be doing more, if that
Right.
makes sense. I feel like
Right.
I really could. Yes.
I've had you ladies on here long enough, so I want to go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. But I would be remiss if I did not wrap it up, allowing you ladies to, just share some, you know, skinny words of wisdom for another woman in general. And I will start with Erica.
I would say be kind, be different, and make a difference.
Okay.
Kindness will open doors. Being different will set you apart, and making the difference will leave a mark long after you have moved on. Don't worry about trying to fit in or being a part of a group. We all have a unique light let yours shine.
Let yours shine. And amen to that.
Yep.
Woo. Okay. Keela, what say you? Some words
Okay.
of wisdom.
Words of wisdom, I would say, and what I tell my daughters as well, be true to yourself. Be bold. Don't chase, attract. I always tell them that as well. And
Mm,
also make sure that you know your identity in God. I
Mhm.
always tell my daughters that as well. And um, another thing I would say is don't let anyone make you feel that you're not worthy of anything, like any role that you may play, anything that you're doing, because now we're living in a time where people feel, some women feel like their role is more important than someone else, and so
mhm.
sometimes that's not always the case. Your role, you're not no different than any other woman.
Right.
So I feel like sometimes we downplay ourselves, or sometimes we let people position make us lower ourselves and back down a little bit and say, okay, I'm gonna let them have it, when we need to be more bold as women and not let anyone downplay us in our roles.
Woo. Okay. All right. That's all right. I felt every word. And that what you remind your daughters of, attract and not chase. That's I made a mental note of that one. I
Mhm.
like that. And Ms. Ivy, you're gonna close us out with this.
I think for a lot of women, minorities, women of color,
Uh-huh.
um, I think I would like to say that our voice is not less powerful. That our dreams are as big as everyone else.
Mm,
That we are that any of the things that are setbacks, they do not really define us. But these are things that propel us to be the leaders that we are. The journey that we have to where we are right now, um, is basically something that inspires others. So we have to share, the journey, and at the same time also that those those setbacks should not define us in such a way that it will make us really um, the wisest person in the room, especially when you have to make those decisions, um, and really showing the mettle that we have as women. So I think that we have to constantly remind others that there is power with just being a woman, and making sure that we're visible and we are relevant in the things that we do, the work ethic that we have to share that, in order for us to keep inspiring generations of women.
mm. Amen, my sisters. Now that's it. I knew when I got the three of you together. I'm like, goodness, I like this lineup. You guys know I highly respect each and every one of you, and I knew you were going to put your own spin on any segment of what I question I pose, a statement I make. And I thank God that it all came together.
And Chris, thank you for having us here. And
Yes,
Yeah.
in
yes,
addition to that, being a woman, you have to be surrounded by your tribe, by the
yes,
people that really elevate and support you. So I feel that way right now in this
Mm,
forum. So thank you guys.
yes.
good.
Thank you. I wanted to say that personally. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed everything I did.
Thank you, ladies, again. I can't thank you enough. And to the audience, thanks for tuning in. Like this video, leave a comment and share. And don't forget to hit that notification button just to let you know and be aware of my latest content. The Life Writing Podcast is another way we creatively inform and inspire, helping people write the lives they desire. Until the next time, take care.